It's a moth. It's a plane. It's the smellycopter. It's a little drone that senses odors with an onboard moth antenna. Seriously, that's the scientists' real name for their creation. A system that monitors the electrical signals sent from the antenna of an actual moth, allowing the drone to lock onto the source of a scent and navigate towards it. And seriously, this has a long-term purpose to one day get drones equipped with moth antennas to sniff out objects like bombs. It's all thanks to the sacrifice of the hawk moth, which has an extremely sensitive smeller like other moths. When a moth picks up a scent like that of a flower or potential mate, the odors bind to proteins inside the antenna. And these proteins in turn activate neurons dedicated to specific chemicals. That means the antennas are producing electrical signals that researchers can tap into. In order to create a sort of moth drone cyborg, mechanical engineer Melanie Anderson of the University of Washington cold anesthetized a hawk moth in a freezer before removing its antenna. She then cut both ends off of a single antenna and attached each to a tiny itty-bitty wire hooked up to an electrical circuit. A lot like a heart monitor, which measures the electrical voltage that is produced by the heart when it beats. We measure the electrical signal produced by the antenna when it smells odor, says Anderson. She's the lead author on a recent paper in the journal Bioinspiration and Biomimetics describing the research. And very similar, the antenna will produce these spike-shaped pulses in response to patches of odor. Slap the rig on a small open-sourced Crazyfly quadricopter, and you've got yourself a hybrid animal machine. The detached moth antenna keeps on living for up to 4 hours, giving the drone plenty of time to sniff out odors. Anderson and her colleagues went a step further and programmed the smellycopter to hunt for odors just like an actual moth would. If you're able to smell an odor, there's a good chance that the source is upwind from you. The same goes for insects like moths, who do something called crosswind casting, in which they lock on to a presumably upwind source and fly towards it, and then shift their bodies left or right as needed to stay targeted on that odor. Anderson's team trained the smellycopter to do the same thing. If the wind shifts or you fly a little bit off course, then you'll lose the odor, says Anderson. And so you cast crosswind to try and pick back up that trail. And in that way, the smellycopter gets closer and closer to the odor source. Smart lights normally require that you keep switches on all the time, and that can be a pain when someone flicks a switch out of habit. You'll soon have a way to keep your lights available no matter what, though. Signify is releasing a Philips Hue wall switch module that upgrades existing switches to smart units. The add-on not only keeps lights available regardless of the switch position, but it lets you specify what happens when someone toggles that switch. You'll have to wait until summer to get the module in North America, and the $40 price or $70 for a 2-pack makes it less likely that you'll retrofit your entire home. This is more for frequently used bulbs like a hall light. It's also battery powered, so you'll need to dismantle your switches every 5+ years to keep the module running. Still, this may be more elegant than replacing your switches outright, and easier than reminding others to leave things alone. There is a new option if you do want new switches, a redesigned Philips Hue dimmer switch. It gives you the familiar brightness and power functions, but there's now a Hue button too that lets you immediately enable a favorite lighting scheme or adapt the lights to the time of day. The wireless device can fit on a wall plate, but it'll also sit on your fridge or any other magnetic surface. The new dimmer will reach North America on February 23rd, 23rd, and that one will be just $25. And yes, there are new hue bulbs coming out this year too. The Amaranth is a mountable, stealthy outdoor spotlight meant to, quote, wash walls in light, while the Appear wall light now comes in a brushed steel finish with an easy installation. You'll find the Amaranth in North America on March 2nd for $170. For now, at least, the new Appear variant will only be available in Europe on January 26th for £150. A crew combat drone has been created that can now hit speeds of more than 1,500 miles per hour. The drone is much bigger than the ones that you're going to see floating around your local parks and looks more like a small spaceship. Created by Kelley Aerospace, the supersonic drone is made up of carbon fiber and is completely unmanned. It can exceed the speed of sound, hitting an astonishing Mach 2.1. Named the Aero, the company has already received more than 100 pre-orders of the combat aerial vehicle, despite it being priced between $9 million and $16 million, something which it believes is a relatively low price. I would actually tend to agree. Not only is the drone extremely fast, it's built for multiple combat and reconnaissance roles and is designed for a reduced radar cross-section and infrared signature. The company explained that the carbon fiber and monocoque design endows the Aero with outstanding strength and stiffness as well. Designed at Singapore's Seletar Aerospace Park, Kelley Aerospace has stated that a manned version of the Aero will be able to control multiple unmanned versions, each with a different mission, equipment and weapon sets, and, well, many different roles. This can be controlled autonomously as well as by 2 ground station controllers. War is about to get absolutely insane. In addition to air missions, the company said the Aero can be deployed for intelligence, surveillance, target acquisition, and reconnaissance tasks as well. As per Flight Global, Kelley Aerospace said the Aero is designed to complement manned aircraft and be a force multiplier in the aerial battlefield. The drone is able to fly almost 5,000 kilometers with a maximum takeoff weight of 37,000 pounds and still reach speeds of Mach 2.1. Kelley Aerospace Chief Executive Ian Lim said recently UAVs are known for their persistence, loitering, but are never known for their speed. So with the Aero supersonic UAV, you will overcome the issue of speed and reach. The Aero has been a long time coming for Kelley Aerospace after its first prototype of the drone was trialed back in 2014. Despite now having created the game-changing drone, Kelley Aerospace isn't stopping there and is also looking at developing a supersonic business jet to boot. 2 prototypes of the jet are apparently being tested right now in the US and Sweden. The company has also already created another subsonic UAV program known as the Black Eagle UAV. As of December 2020, Kelley Aerospace had 250 of the vehicle examples on order.